Let me see if I can raise it up. Raise it up. All right, I raised it up a little bit. Probably a little too high, but all right. I'm just back on the organ. Wait. Uh-oh. I forgot to see. I left out the part. Oh, somebody spraying our yard for us? Oh, cool. My neighbor had somebody spray our yard for us for bugs, pesticides. Oh, that was nice. You didn't have to do that. I'm gonna have to go out there and patronize. My neighbor gets what they call hornets. They start kind of building their way in. Hornets. They like the nest on his rooftop. So then they always sometimes try to come on our side of the yard. I didn't know he was gonna come over and should go out there and patronize him for doing that, because he didn't have to actually come on our side to do it. Remember most of the stuff. Actually, I'm at the very end of this song. So, organ compared to playing an organ, or organ versus keyboard. In my opinion, I feel the organ is much more easier, depending on the tone or the song you're doing. So, yeah. Because I got my pedal, and then on the keyboard without pedal, feel naked without it. So that's why keyboard players have a bass player helping them out, because they know the bass player know where the keyboard player is going, especially if they're real cool with each other, like brothers and stuff like that. They know, okay, hey man, if I play this voicing of chords and you hear me do it, go to the F, go to the E flat, or B flat, go down to D, and go to E flat, so the bass player knows. Or if the bass player understands the keys, or maybe just playing along with somebody for a period of time, the bass player would know, okay, I know where you're going, okay, you know. So a musician told me this a long time ago. He's like, man, I love my bass guitar player, but he go everywhere. Wherever I'm going, he's right there with me. And so and the drummer. So when you have a good drummer, pocket drummer, not an out of control drummer, but a pocket drummer. So he was like, man, I got my pocket drummer rolling with me, and I got my pocket bass guitar player rolling with me, and so when we rock and roll wherever we go, I've seen it in the flesh, and I'm like, dang, they sound dope together, because the bass guitar player and the drummer, they all know that we're not trying to outshine each other. And so, with that being said, it's kind of like a nugget in a sense, since maybe some musicians out there, or people out there who are drummers or bass guitar players or even keyboard players, you know, that I guess they have a word of saying, stay in your lane. Don't do too much. Too much can be overkill. And then less can be underkill too, but just do enough to be able to make each other sound like we are one unit and not me on the organ on the keyboard. I'm blasting and I'm keep killing whatever. I mean, there's a time and a place for everything, but I'm just saying. I've seen this in the flesh, and I'm like, wow, man, they sound dope, and they sound real cool. I mean, like the bass guitar player is not out riding the keyboard player or the drums. They all like they sound like a real band. They sound like a 3-piece dope band, a 3-piece off the hook band versus just trying to outdo each other. So I know that's a lot for some people to be able to understand that it's not about you, it's about us as a group together. And if we go out somewhere and roll together, it's not about me trying to outplay the next person. It's just we need to like play. So I have to be my own bass player, and I have to be my own keyboard player. Now, if I had a drummer that wants to roll with me or whatever, then we all have to pocket each other and not try to outdo each other, because I'm not trying to outdo anybody, and that's not my game plan anyways. I'm not trying to be better than the bass player, and not trying to be better than the drummer in my game plan. It's just like, let's go have some fun, let's go put that 30 minutes in doing whatever we gonna do and get out the way. So if you got a drummer that's pocketed and not wild with it, we're all syncing with each other, then we sound good together. That sounded kind of rhymey there. That was a little rhymey there, but yeah, we'll sound like a unit, and not sound like a bunch of racket when people be like, oh my God, this is a mess. This is a mess. Y'all know what I hear that saying, man, y'all sound a mess. You see what I'm saying? So I had to know I got to know my place. All right. So if the guitar doing his thing, the drummer's pocket. I'm not trying to teach nobody nothing, but I'm just making a point that if the drummer, and the guitar player, or lead guitar, or whatever you want to say, plays a good part, important part. But just to use that as an example, I had to know my place. Not try to outdo the bass player, not try to be outdoing the keyboard player, and not trying to outdo the guitar player. I had to know my place. Right, so. I gotta figure out the move. Boom, 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 dun, dun, dun. I see somebody do this. This is what's funny. Even if I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I would just say I can still hold Now they did that 5. Okay, so now I have to know when to come in on the 5. Oh, we got it switched over. Let's go back to the first one. Now, if y'all don't know where they're going, right? So I have to listen to it. I have to know my place. Once I hear it, listen to it a few times, then I'm like, okay, whoever. Once I get the idea of what we're doing, then alright, then I'll follow through with some of it. But then alright, but I stay out the way of the bass guitar player and I stay out the way of the guitar player. Alright, and even if there's a keyboard player in the mix, then I'll stay out the way. I see the safe way. But anyway, so I'll listen to this type of track and I'll try to learn some of this, but alright, whatever, whatever, if that was what I want to do with that, here we go. Remember that? I might start with that, but it all depends on what I want to do with it, right? Oh God, I was late. Did it again. Whatever they doing, but and then I go with the flow once I figure out where they're heading. Bass line, whatever they can. So anyway, speaking about playing the organ and stuff. So organ is supposed to just kind of like accompany, but now sometimes you have the organist as the leader, because he might know what's going on, and then the keyboard player is the follower, or you might have the keyboard player as the leader and the organist is just following along with the keyboard player. It all depends on who wants to dominate on which songs, or all of the songs, or whatever. However the service is, you might just have the keyboard player as the main player. So that keyboard player will be the one who leads out, or the organ player might be the guy who might lead out on everything, and then everybody else follow. But depends on the song that they're doing. So the organ player might just lay back and let the keyboard go ahead and lead out, and then the organ player will come in. So it doesn't matter. I would say I was gonna say it doesn't matter, but there's always got to be a leader. Whoever that leader is, the MD. It's gonna be like, hey, all right, bro, you gonna lead out? I'm following you, but I'm still the man. I'm still that guy, basically. So, now as far as playing the organ, between the organ and keyboard, for me, everybody know I'm not a keyboardist. Sometimes I try to figure out, at times, what am I best at, the keyboard or the organ? And of course, y'all know that whatever the one you are best at, you'll spend more time on it, majority of your time, your life into it. And for me, because of the bass line, I can play my bass line on whatever I want to go. All that. But when I'm on the keyboard, it makes makes me feel like I'm restricted because I don't have a bass line to follow unless I have to do it individually. Doing all that. You know, yeah. It makes me have to think more and move more. It makes me have to get out of my comfort zone more because now I have become depending on the bass line. I need that bass line. If I can't have that bass line, forget it. I'm not gonna play. I need the bass line. I need my bass line. I need that bass line. I feel completely naked. I feel completely out in the wilderness. And I don't have the bass line locked in or whatever. I feel lost. I feel like I'm in a Wonder Man's land somewhere. But to try to get myself out of that, Say I was doing fancy stuff. All I'm doing is doubling up chords back, doing we call it not inversions, but inversions, and then I'm doing transposing. So it's just like if I'm going to A flat, transpose it down. Inversions. Doing inversion. I'm doing inversions now. Invert. See if I can move the forcing. Transpose. Just making it fancier, and I won't do it too much of that. Actually, matter of fact, You probably never ever hear me play that like way in church ever. I just play straight. You know what I'm saying? Oh, happy. Oh, exactly. I'm trying to play it like I do on the keyboard. Uh. So when I'm working, you have to improvise. I'm gonna say improvise, but you're supposed to pad it because you're not supposed to play it exactly like you do on the keyboard. But I can select chords from whatever if I do it on the keyboard. So that's okay then. Now this one. That's gonna be a whole nother game. See, that makes me think of it differently. So I have to approach it much more differently than I did in the beginning. Well, if I did on the keyboard. So first it. And then listen. What was it? Just technically the correct way. So I might have to come at it from a different angle. See? Maybe I'll come at it the same way. Somebody else said, so I may use some of the same chords. Now the way I used to do it, let me see, hold on. I live I go to the F. It's supposed to go to E flat. And E flat, I'm using the minor move. 6, 5, 7, 6, 1. I'm gonna start 6, 7, 1, 3. Alright, and so you remember the other part was I'm going here. 7, 3, train 4, 3, 2, 7, 3, 6, 1. The correct way. Alright, so doing that on a key organ is going to be a little bit more of a challenging to try to approach it slightly the way that it was actually done on the album, but on a keyboard, but on the organ. So. So I still can pull those chords off. I can still pull off the beginning, right? I can say, same chord. 3. I can still pull off those voicings, right? So, then. Same. Still pull off the same thing here. would it sound okay? It all depends on if I'm adding more notes to it. Because I understand what we're doing. E flat, D flat, E flat, E flat, D flat. So now I know how I can. Not doing other little ways of doing this sound. Alright, so just want to get on the keyboard and mess around for a second. But when we talk about transposing, everybody probably hates that word, transposing, changing keys, or whatever, modulating to the next move or whatever. It's not difficult, it's not hard, it's just something that we have to say, okay, I'm gonna spend a few minutes of my life and I'll spend 5 minutes of my lifetime saying, okay, I'm gonna do my skills, practicing, right? Right, so make sure you call, like, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. You make sure you're left hand, right? If you're weak in the left hand, if you're a right-handed person, you already know you're gonna ace it. Right, you already know that. So therefore, if you want to work with your left hand, the weak hand, work with it by itself, or work with it together, or work with it separately. Right, work with it separately. Right, and make sure you call out, C, D, E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That way it's in your head. Now you can go with your numbers. C's 1, D 2, E 3, F 4, G 5, right, A 6, B number 7. Continuation of the number system. Now C is number 8, 2, D is 9, E is 10, 11 is now 4, my 5 is 12, and my 6 is 13 now. I already know the notes. Right, you can call them out if you want. C is my 8, D is my 9, E is number 10, F is number 11, and number G is 12, and number 6 is A, and B flat, B natural is your number 14. People may say go back to the 7, back to the 1. So you can say 7 and then back to the 1, or you can say 14, back to the 1. And some people might say 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and so forth. You ain't got to do all that. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, right? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the number is consistent. Continue to keep moving forward until you get to 14, back to the 1. So now you know your skills, and now you can build your chords from there. This is what you guys will find on Play by Sight. Where I do my books, actually. They're over there. Everybody who knows me, I have 2 books that's out called Play by Sight, edition number 1 and edition number 2. So I teach this in the book, or I have this information in the book, and then now you can start building chords and do your inversions. Go to the next key and do the same thing, and work with your left hand, the weaker hand, right, and do them in all key. I won't say you're gonna be perfect, but the whole idea is get your ears familiar with it and your fingers, right? Ears and your fingers familiar with it. So then when you start hearing stuff the musicians are doing, then you're gonna recognize something that you done heard from these moves, especially from the left hand to the right, because a lot of musicians are playing the and that I'm not gonna use this word, I'll say it anyway just because I was about to say it, but unexpected chord voicings in the left hand, but they're actually the foundational chords we call the basic theory chords in the left hand, and they make it sound like the musician is doing a whole lot, but in actuality they're just using the basic theory behind the madness and doing basic chords. But it sounds like they're doing a whole lot, which is not. But of course, us as musicians we look up to every musician, whether they're young or old or mid age or whatever, and be like, oh my God, man, these guys are really extremely talented. I can't do that. I promise you that I will say this all the time. I cannot do that. No, I can't do it. And the only reason I say that is because I've already defeated myself and said that I can't do that. That's too much. That's too much energy into that. But the reality is, we can do it if we make an effort to attempt to try to do it. My analytic is sending me a message back. And let's see, I'm gonna make my comment. My analytic is saying basically pretty much what I'm just saying out of my mouth, so to speak. That musicians are playing stuff that might look virtually impossible to do. However, it is an art, it is a talent, it is something you have to take time to put into it to either one, quicken your speed and your playing. Because these musicians are playing faster movements, even though the movements are basic theory stuff, but they just move them much faster. And so some of us OGs, some of us, I ain't saying all of us, but some of us OGs, we can't keep up with it because it's above our abilities to do it. But I would say not so per se, because if you practice it, then you will have the opportunity to master it. So, of course, immediately I'm gonna say this is over the top for me. It's like, what? Ain't no way I'm gonna be able to master this. And the only way I will be able to master some stuff, why? You have a what? Not allowed. So let me see if we can go back to. I was gonna go to. Hold on. Why did we even go here? That was dumb. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Why did they do that? I was going to the text, and it went to Facebook. How did we even get there? Try this again. So now this time, let's see we go to what I'm trying to go to. Okay, now this time we went to what I was going to. But yes, we're going to say this is complex. And this is off the hook. This is way over my head. But if you sit there and think about it, scales and chords progressions or chords in general can create runs if you understood it. Okay, I quit. Yeah, I would say I need a drink. I think I would need some more drinks. That's the first thing we're gonna say. That's over the top, cause it sounds like ain't no way, ain't no way I'm gonna be able to learn that. And yes, it takes time to actually understand that chords can help you create runs. if you already know what the chord is. So if you learn the chord, we can play the runs. Once we find out which chord it is, you know you can play the runs. So this is I'm making this up. When I say making this up, I'm just saying I play the chord. Now I got this here, right? Now, if I have any good sense of the idea that I'm gonna probably connect this, and then I'm gonna probably, to get where I'm trying to go down here to this note here, I'm gonna have to connect these two to create this run. So remember, speed is key. But if you understood that they're doing chords, but creating runs from it, right? Doing it a lot faster. All right, so yeah, it can be just as simple as a scale and go to another note. So, generally, sometimes you might hear the run with two hands, and you might get the run with the one hand. But if you can master it with the one hand run, so you used to say you had to C scale. Okay, so I want to do a. Right, so you do. And I know where to connect at some point. The runs are generated from chords. We may also say they generated from scales because the scales create chords. So I did a video some time ago where I was just messing around with runs. And I did it on the keyboard to see how it would sound when you speed it up. So of course I started it out slow. Well, you know, we all had our other little standard round. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the run is gonna be. Right, so you know what I'm saying? Slower, right? So if I was analyzing this and I would put this in the keyboard, I would go. And I spit that up. Y'all really like thinking it's a run from out of heaven somewhere, but it's really not a run from out of heaven. It's just a run that was slow at first. So then I go. So you might hear it a lot faster because the keyboard player has figured, okay, let me speed this up, and you hear people all the way down here and coming back up because they practiced that. You know, so I don't know how to do runs. I forgot to do runs. I can't do runs like that, but I used to do runs when I first was getting going, and then later on, I don't know, for some crazy unknown reason, I thought that overkill on runs was unnecessary, and then I started listening to musicians who more of chord players, and then do short ones. I used to practice runs every day back in the day when I finally moved here to Antioch, and then I will be religiously in here doing runs like like a crazy man, with chords and stuff like that. And then some point I was like, man, this is unnecessary. And then on top of that is where you play at. Some places they may not like that. They may not like you doing all this every time you go to a chord change. You know. That's my wife. So I was like, okay, I'll just be a chord man. Just give me chords, I'll play chords. And my runs will be short. Short runs, I'm not bashing the long runs or short runs or any runs to begin with, in case somebody might get that twisted. That's not what I'm saying, but yeah. That was a lot. But I would say if you are learning how to play, or you already sort of know how to play, but especially if you're learning how to play the organ, have something in front of you that you can practice on. So majority of the time I won't come to the organ or the keyboard unless I know I'm about to lay it down. I'm about to lay something down, something that either is new to me, or I hadn't played on it for a long period of time. So my wife might say, hey, blah blah blah. Oh man, goodness, I haven't played that song in about 5 years. So sometimes I have to come back and just reteach myself. And it can be the simplest thing. It can be the simplest. I love you, love. I love you, love. I love you, love. Today, because you care for me in such a special way. See what I'm saying? Alright, it could be the simplest thing, so I would I'll come back to that, or whatever it might be, but I'm gonna get into practicing songs. Right now, I was trying to do my project. Alright, I was trying to work on my projects that I had set before me for some time, and I keep stepping away from it. I keep on stepping away from it. That doesn't make me feel great doing that, but I'm definitely going to come back to it. So as I said, line up your ducks, and I will put something in front of me and let me get on it and do it, so that way I have it done. Then I will start addressing other stuff, like, other songs and stuff like that. I was just listening to a list of stuff from my private other website that I go to. By the way, speaking about that, my wife's website is bishopdrexlerclark.info, where you can pick up your books, which is Play by Sight edition number 1 and number 2, digital downloadable from my website, and then also Amazon. You can pick up your physical copy there at Amazon, as well as the digital download. So y'all heard me in the beginning earlier. I came on. Let me see. Oh, okay. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, what's it? Oh. Oh, I was right. Oh. Good thing I looked, y'all. Oh, that. Okay. Okay. Alright, just trying to double check. A flat. This time it's A flat. Without adding C. Oh, okay. Minor. How was I pulling this off? Oh, that. Okay. Alright. Oh, okay, cool. Was this chord I thought? That's what I thought. Oh. Oh, didn't know that. Okay, hold on. Oh, my bad. I'm playing it wrong. Okay. I was messing that up. Okay, hold on. B flat, walk up to it. Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to go back to that. Okay. I see. Hold on. Walk up. How am I doing this? C, D, then C. Okay, C minor 9. Okay. Oh. Oh, snap. I didn't know that left hand was supposed to. I was doing. How was I doing that? See? That's how I was doing. Oh. So I'm supposed to go. Okay, it's similar. All I did was switch the finger, the thumb. Okay. Y'all heard me doing that? B. Let's see how I'm doing that. Guess I'll play this voice in it. C, F, G, C, F. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I was supposed to be doing this one. Alright. Okay, so it's telling me I'm doing this one. So I'll play this wrong. Uh-oh. What, boat? That then to G up to the same chord we playing earlier. A flat. Alright. Now what am I supposed to be doing? A flat. And then oh, I was supposed to go to F. Ooh, I was playing that wrong. And then to the minor move. Major 7 flat 5. Major 9 13. I'm doing that right. I did that right. Okay. So I had 2 chords I didn't do right. Anyway. How to do that? Got that right. Okay. Alright, so I was doing it my way. So I was going, that, okay. And it stayed there. The first one was because it's the minor move. Come off the minor chord, go to E flat. Diminished move. That's the second time around. See, I was doing it. I was doing, what was I doing? I think I Actually, it's the sus4 chord. Do my 2 cents in. Walk up to the. That's why I was doing that. Actually, I'm supposed to go here. F. And then that bring me here. That makes sense now. There it is. That's all I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, that's history. Right. That's what I was doing earlier before I got interrupted. I was trying to memorize most of it. I'm doing songs now. This is a song, right? This is not me doodling around, messing around on stuff. I'm trying to make my practice count, or make your practice count for whatever you're learning. Yeah, so make it count. Make it count. That's what I was supposed to go here. I was doing it my way. I was using that same chord. I was supposed to switch over to E flat. Well, I'm actually E flat, supposed to do inverted. The F. That's with the move up. Now I'm doing it now. Walk up to the A flat, switch over to F, and do my E flat inversion. B flat. So basically what it is going E flat to the 1, to the 3, up to the 4, then 2, 5. So 6, oh, I'm sorry. 1, 3, 4, 2, 5. 6 up to the 7, 6. That's just a walk back. I'm just on the 1. I just walk the pedals back down to the. Actually, you know what? I don't have to do that. To the 6, to the 1, to the 6, 2.5, 2, 5, 1, 3, to the 4. Hang on to that same chord, but I use the minor move, and now we're going to E flat. Diminish up. Now I also saw it go back to the B flat, and then you can also do down the 6 up to the 7. 1. Then there's a tritone, however, you might hit the major second. So and go to the sus4. And walk up 3, up to the 4. Like you almost about to hit the G minor 7 sharp 5 voicing. Up to, well, if you did without the bass line, this would have been the F minor 9, the F minor 11 with the flat 5 voicing, but because of the bass line, says, hey yo, you're going to the G, so this should be a G7 sharp 5, I believe. So let me go from the keyboard organ right quick. So I think that's what I've said it's supposed to be G7 sharp 5, I believe. See what's my passcode. Oh man, come on, Cordy. Cordy keeps getting kicked out again. Oh, actually, I think I can do a bit with ridiculous. I'm not talking to you, Granny over there. Grandma. Let me see this moving up. Oh, where the Cordy go actually? Cordy get kicked out too? Oh no, it was ridiculous. And ridiculous says now ridiculous is coming at it from another angle. I don't know why ridiculous is saying differently, but it's the same E flat with the flat 6 add 9. However, that's incorrect per se. But Cordy is going to say there should be a minor 11 flat 5. Alright, every chord I'm playing, y'all, is in my book. So minor 11 flat 5. Now we put the G there. Alright. So we have the G7 sharp 5. It's actually G7 sharp 9 sharp 5 actually. G9. And then let me see, hold on while I'm already over here. Remember, we walking up to that bass line. So we was here, and that is your E flat 9 13. But it's a major 7 flat 5 without the drop, without the bass line, which is also in play by sight all day. Every chord your bow is playing is in the play by sight all day. All right, play by sight. I'm trying to get the books actually. Play by sight, edition number 1 and edition number 2, and play by sight music book all day. Every chord I'm playing is in the book. So it's the major 7 flat 5 bass line makes you play the 9-13, E flat 9-13, and because we're walking that pedal up, it's still the same chord. What? Okay, now let's take out one note out of the equation, which is the tritone. Remember the tritone? Just for a second. Major 7 flat 5 because of the tritone. Now I'm using the major 3rd. Now this makes me play the E flat 6-9 voicing. Now let's go to tritone with it. It's right back to the major 9, or I'm sorry, the E flat 9-13. Now because I'm thinking of the walk up of the pedal. Now let's separate the bass line from the last bass line, E flat, and go to G. Is the major 7 flat 5 voicing. D flat major 7 flat 5 voicing. Now let's come up to the 4 in E flat. Now is a minor A flat minor major 7. I'm sorry, A flat minor with a major 9-13 voicing. What? In the book. Because we come up. Now remember, without the bass line, it's minor 11 flat 5. Now let's hit you with the bass line for a second on the G, the 3 now. Now it's a G7 sharp 9 sharp 5, but we're gonna come up to the bass line to A flat, which is the 4th. So A flat minor, major 9-13. What? Now remember I said switch the finger. Alright. Alright, so now I'll switch the finger and with the F in E flat. It's now F 9-4 voicing. Now I told you to go to the F bass line. So that just really you go into an F 9-4 voicing. What? Because the movement's going like this. Pedals moving while that whole chord is still moving. Right? The pedals moving with that, still with that same thing. Major 7 flat 5. Minor major 9-13. Now we switch the finger. Then we play the F 9-4. What? That's crazy. When you're doing this on the organ. Now watch this. Let's just say you held that A flat for a couple of seconds, just literally a second. Now, we'll hold the A flat and switch the finger over. then you end up playing the F minor 9/11. But remember, you go into F after the A flat F, which is 4/3. F9 says 4. Then we go into the 5. And it's E flat major 9. That's the whole little movement right there. So now with the bass line and the chords together is the 9/13. Hold it there. D flat major 7 with the flat 5. Come up. Sorry about that. Minor, A flat minor, major 9/13. This is so dope. F 9/4. And then E flat major 9. That whole little movement right there. So when you hear somebody doing it on the organ, it's like, what? Now chords like that, I will place them in the book, in the music book as well. Now some of them I already have them in there, but now seeing this from another angle, doing this on the organ changes the whole game right here, because now it's like, ooh, that sounded nasty. That was nasty, my boy. So yeah, E flat 9/13. While I'm coming up on the pedals, going to the G, D flat major 7 with the flat 5. Up. Now that makes me play the A flat minor with the major 9/13. Come over here to the F bass line. It's gonna be real quick. It's not like he's holding a chord. He's just gonna go like like that. So it's gonna be like so it's gonna be a little quick fast hit. Alright, F9 says 4, quick hit, and then now you're into the E flat major 9 voicing. And that's how you hear that. Now, because we want to be flat voicing, now is B flat minor 9/11. And then you start to do the 13 B flat 13 sus voicing. Let me say, hold on. And then we go to the 1. So we hit several chords on the 5, a few chords on the 5 basically. So after the 4, 2, 5. So we're going now to 5. The 5 is E flat major 9, B flat minor 9/11, B flat 13 sus, and then we did the diminished voicing. Oh, you got me on that one. So what was the diminished voicing? I forgot. Let me see. I believe the D flat. What that diminished movement was, let me make sure I said it correctly. Oh, B flat 9/13. Or it could be B flat 7/9, B flat 7 with a flat 9. Let me see how my fingers is doing it. Let me see how my fingers. Yeah. B flat 7 with a flat 9. B flat 7 flat 9. And these are chords that are considered continuous being played because we love playing that move. So yeah. Yeah, so B flat 7 with the flat 9. And then you go back to your 1. Or let me see how we do it. How we coming like, and then we go to E flat 9-13, or E flat major 9, because I'm not doing the 13 because that's the 13 to 9, the 6. That's why I'm making it a little bit extra. Yeah, so if I hit that, then we're playing the E flat major 9-13. We're just going back to the E flat major 9. Ooh, D minor 9. Ooh, D flat minor 9. C minor 9. Ooh, B7 sharp 9 sharp 5. Transpose backwards to B flat 7 9 sharp 5. Hey. 7 sharp 9. Let's go to E flat with that bass line, and then it's gonna take me to the E flat 9-13. What? Same chord. I'm just trying to. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Organ versus keyboard. All right, I heard me go over to the keyboard, but organ versus keyboard, so to speak, is like I got the bass line. I got something that I can help me out, build me out right off from the gate, because I'm on the organ and I got the pedals helping you bow out. Okay, so Bishop Drayton Clark hot chords dot I N F F O. That's the minor 9/11s I'm doing. Minor 9/11, minor 9/11, transposing. Where we get these chords from, y'all? These chords that you really want to play, learn how to play, that the pros don't want you to know how they doing what they're doing. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be probably that guy who's going to be pushing these chords out. So Bishop Drayton Clark hotchords.info. My website is live, hot and rocking and rolling. You can go over there and get the digital download. Physical download is Amazon. Amazon is going to handle all of the physical portion of that. I was going to get into that, but my advisors informed me that it's much more easier to have a publishing company that I'm paid a little bit of money into, for them to actually publish my books from that angle. I have a publishing company that I go through that actually puts the books together, and then once they're finished putting the books together, then they'll shoot me back the information. Matter of fact, I was about to speak to my agent earlier today. I'll probably call him back tomorrow. He's probably already gone to see 45, 56, 67. Oh no, he's probably still at work right now. I'll probably just call him tomorrow. Call him tomorrow, let him know that how far in I am on my third book. So I will be doing a third book, which is edition number 3 this year, and I might even go ahead and do edition number 4 and drop these dope chords, these off the hook chords. Chords is gonna turn musicians' heads. People will be like, man, where'd you learn them chords from? Because you didn't get it from me. So yeah, you're gonna have these chords. So if it's chords you trying to figure out, you ain't gotta figure out no more. I got you. All right, I took care of it already. So you don't have to drive and chasing folk down like, yo, what did you do right here? How did you do that? I'm gonna be that one who's gonna drop them in the book and get y'all on your way. So you hear something, you're like, yep, chapter 5, there that chord is. Oh, chapter 10. Oh, that's that dope chord Andre was talking about, that Bishop Drayton Clark, aka Andre Clark. That's what he was talking about. Oh, chapter 1. Yep, there it is. He wasn't lying. All right, he's dropping it like it ain't nobody's business. And I like watching this guy. He's hilarious. Not that this is supposed to be a good thing. It's kind of off the subject, but I'm going to use some of his terminology because it's hilarious when I listen to it. But so he does these police shows, And the way he talks is heck of funny, and some of the words he uses. But he's like, yo, and again, I don't condone crime. All right, I do not condone crime, but he was just using this illustration of how people be running from the police, and he's like, man, this is about to be diabolic. um, some of the words he be saying, I was like, man, where is he even getting this from? I don't know. You must have grew up in church or something, but just some of the conversation he be using, man. This is about to be Play by Psych is about to be diabolic. You gonna start turning head. People gonna be like, bro. People gonna be like, sis, little bro, little killer, little young key G. All right, young key, little G, man. Where you learn them chords from? Who taught you how to play them chords, bro? Yes. So y'all can say y'all got it from me. Pass the word out. Put the word out on the street that there is some young. That I'm still young, but there's this musician out there. I'm gonna say this young OG out there putting out music books, edition number 1 and 2. We're spitting out some dope chords. Anybody can play these chords, any age, doesn't matter where you at in the world, doesn't matter what creed you are, what country you from, what language we from. Chords do not have chords. Chords do not have a race at all. All right, chords and chord progressions do not have a race on who wants to learn. It doesn't have a color. It doesn't have a race. Anybody can learn how to play. It doesn't have a color or race, and neither does it have an age per se. Now we know common sense. You know, a newborn baby ain't gonna learn how to play this, duh. But I've done this with my grandson and my grandgirls. My grandgirls though. Put stuff up to them and they just mesmerized, just looking at it. They all happy, even though they don't have a clue what it is. But they're like, I'm just flipping through the pages and I'm like, look at this. And just the response that they get, even though they don't have a clue what's going on. But as they get older, and you repeat the same thing, they're gonna remember what they've seen over a period of time, especially when they get a certain age. To be able to comprehend what they see. So I try to make sure that my music books are comprehensive to the T. There's no way you can be able to not to comprehend this unless there is some type of illness that one may have. So if one has some type of illness, I get it. But if you don't have some type of massive illness of some sort, you'll be able to look at this and huh? You say so? And you should be able to look at this and open up the book to whatever chapter you go to and learn chords. The minute you start learning how to play chords, it's gonna change your life forever. So if I know my bass line is doing that, okay, and then I go locate the chord. That must be, and it's telling me what hand I'm doing this in. All right, B, E, and B, D, and E. All right, my right hand is supposed to play A and D and G. And if I want to do octaves. If I want to move the voicing up, now note that the fact that I have my drawbars on 2 white ones, right? That sounds really nice. Piece of paper here. Now, if I change my drawbars to the brown ones out on the end, then it's gonna sound muddy, right? That means you need to rotate up your hands to the keyboard. Oh. And if you want to rotate the hand up and do octaves, it's up to you. Once them chords is in your hands, it's over. I'm like nationwide. It's on your side. So once the chords is in your hands, ain't nobody gonna be able to take this away from you. You can play the low C beat, or you can play the high C voicing. That's money. I said. Yeah, that sounds nice. Woo. That's the fat chords. That's the dope chords, right? I'm not giving y'all crackerjack chords. I'm not giving y'all baby saint chords, so to speak. The baby saint chords may start out a little bit in chapter number 1, which is your basic theory that I'm trying to fast track the beginner musicians who have no idea how to play to get them at least started with chapter 1. Now y'all might say this isn't crackerjack chords, or y'all might not say that this is technically beginner's level chords. It is. And yes, do it sound good? Yes. Let's go D with it. Now we have a minor 9/11 voicing, or we can have a 9 sus4 voicing. But if you listen to this, you notice this is a, yep, that's right, correction, minor 9/11 voicing. Woo, it's the preacher chord. And see, now I can do inversion. Alright, I can do my inversion of my C major chord. It's technically a C major 7 voicing. Let's go C major. Now what I'm going to do is add the 7. And I did a third inversion of it. Even though underneath I have the root. But now my other finger is picking up the third inversion voicing. But I'm also playing the first inversion as well. I had the root. What? And I also have the first inversion. And now we have the second inversion. And now I have the third inversion. And then if I back the root, but I would have just went ahead and jumped over and played what we call the double up chord, which is the major 7 voicing. What? But I'm doing this over D bass. High D bass, low B, D bass. But it's the preacher chord, right? So it's my preaching chord, right? Can I get away? If I'm in the key of D. So I'm 5, 6, 5, and I'm gonna play the G chord because what's mixed in this voicing is the word mixed. We like to use the word, or I'm gonna say combination first. Let me use the word combination first, and then I might use the word. We may use the word mixed chords, something like that, right? Mixed chords. So we may say, well, we're gonna play the double up chords, which is true. But what's mixed in there? Or what is the combination chords I may have in this voicing? So we may say we're playing mix and match chords. That's the word I was looking for. So in this case, I'm technically playing the double up chord, which is the major 7 voicing. But what is mixed in it? So that's the other word I might say. Okay, I have a combination of chords mixed in this craziness. But people might say you better learn how to play your mix and match chords. So basically, I have technically mix and a match chord. What is my mix and match chord? Is C major on the bottom, and at the top I have a G major chord. Okay, now what's the combination of chords in between the madness? Well, let's find out what are my combination chords. Well, is there any combination mixed with this? Let's find out. Maybe it's not. Okay. The only way it became mixed up is when I went to a G chord. But because it was already in my pedals. Oh, G, B, and D. Because of the D bass line made me go there. Basically, that's all I'm saying. Alright, now what if I didn't put the G there? Then of course I would just basically have what we call the double up major chord. However, what are the other chords that I might be playing in the major 7 voicing? I'm going to start with the left, right to the left. Let's start with the right to the left. Or we can start from the left to the right. Whatever direction y'all want to go. Well, let's go right to left. What is that chord? Minor. is a minor chord. Minor chord was mixed with the C major chord. So if you time I take one note off at the top, right now it's E minor. Take one note off, I'm back to C major. Oh. Take one note off from the top. All I'm doing is this inversion of the major 7 voicing. So basically what the two chords are mixed together is the E minor and the C major chord. Now let's throw another mix to it. We're going to throw the D in there. And when we throw the D in there, then it says suggesting that now I'm playing mixed match chords at this point. But we have the combination of G major chord, G at the top, E minor coming underneath, and C major chord. Those are the 3 chords. That's it. Because all it's going to do is repeat itself over again. Okay, yes. Now we mentioned the major 7 doubled up, right? All it's going to do is now make me play the major 7 voicing. The third inversion of the C major 7. So technically we will have really actually the G minor, the C major, I'm sorry, the G major, and then the E minor, the second chord, right? Alright. The third chord would be C major, technically. And then the fourth chord will be our major 7 voicing. 4 chords in this whole mix. What? Alright, so you will find that over in chapter number 5. Chapter 5. Now, we go back to say earlier that I said our C major triads is in chapter 2. And all we did was say we're going to add the 7 to the voicing. Now, let's go back to the triad again, C triad. And let's say we want to sharp our 5. Now we have the augmented voicing. That is chapter 3. Alright, let's go back to the triad again, C triad. And let's try another move. And let's say we're going to go ahead and say sharp to 5, but let's add the 7. And now it gives us a C major 7 with a sharp 5, which my memory should say we in chapter 7. I want to say chapter 7. I thought I had this memorized. Alright? Because you're going to hear these chords. I promise you. You will see where I'm going with this. And it is chapter 7. I have reason to believe chapter 7. Alright? Okay. Now, if we add the tritone to the equation, which is in chapter number 8 or 18, what are we going to get now? Shut up, it's a crazy Clark. So now we doing the tritone in the left hand and the right hand, we're going to pull this off. Check this out. Chord-wise, from right to left, is an E major chord, 1 chord, 2nd chord is going to be your what? Augmented chord. And then we have the augmented inversion. And then we also have our tritone. And of course our tritone again. Right? So we have the F sharp tritone or G flat tritone, and then we have the C tritone, because what happened was we just took the C and put it on the bottom. Now if we go from left to right, we have the tritone, C tritone. That's right. And then now from there we're gonna move here and add the C to it. Okay. And then we had, of course, your E, and then you see how we're gonna mess around with this C augmented voicing, because we playing the version of it. And that makes us cause us to play the major 7 with a sharp 5, flat 5, sharp 5, which also puts us over in chapter number. Man, y'all, I'm telling y'all better get these chords, because it's gonna take you to a whole another level. So we'll find that over here in chapter 14. So I was thinking, like, man, if I put these chord book together this way, this will make it so much more easier for me to actually learn what I'm hearing other musicians are doing a lot faster. So now you're learning my formula on how I'm doing what I do. I didn't put all of my formula in this one book because I didn't have enough time, because I was sick at the time, and I wasn't for sure if I was gonna live even longer enough to even go ahead and push more chords in the book. So I said, let me just go ahead and publish my very first book before anything else should happen to me. Between the time that I last put the last chords in this book, so I made it all the way to chapter number 18 in the book, and then of course I fell ill after that because I wasn't 100% well. So I was like, let me go ahead and drop this book while I'm still somewhat breathing a little bit, right? So the book did get finished and publishing portion of it in May 30th or May 28th or May 30th or 29th, one of those days. The book became live on Amazon because the publishing company sent my book over to Amazon immediately, and Amazon went on ahead and made my very first book live June 2nd of 2025. Then I had gotten sick for a bit and didn't think I was going to be here after that. That was kind of scary, but well, actually I wasn't scared. Actually, might be scared for others, but it was more of, okay, I guess this is my last day on earth, so to speak. So let me just at least get a book out as Mr. Archer Andre or whatever. But so I started feeling a little bit better after being hospitalized again. After that, then I ended up around so I got hospitalized in 24. No, because we talking about 25 when I got the book. The book was aired 25, so I started to feel slightly a little better over a period in between my illness, and then I said, let me go ahead and push for the second book. Wasn't for sure how far I was gonna push, but I got a little inspired, started feeling well, thinking that okay, at least let me try to push my second book, cause for sure I really actually thought I was gonna keep the bucket thin, but anyways, the Lord said no. I was rough. September 25th is when my second edition book, edition number 2, went live on the 25th and the 26th. That was for the ebook and then also for the paperback. Okay, paperback and ebook. The hardcover couldn't come out because Amazon said, "Hey, you're short." I think they said I was short about 7 to 8 pages. So I was like, "Oh man." So at first I was gonna go ahead and just not deal with it and let it ride. I just want to have a hardcover for the second edition, but I was determined that I was gonna get it done. So I got it done, and it got published October 15th of 2025. Yeah. So I got it done. So yeah. Here I am, inspired. After I seen it come out, I got a little bit more inspired. I started trying to feel better, or as the Lord allowed me to get better. I guess I say it like that. So now I'm inspired to continue to write my next book. So yeah, y'all keep praying for me that I will be able to finish that this year. My plan is to at least have it published by June 2nd of this year, so that means I will give it 1 year in between the books. But if not, I'll probably end up publishing it before June 2nd. At the way it looks right now, I'm already at let me see, I got up to chapter 8 now. So I have 9 and 10. But that gives me about 20 something pages. I have to have at least 80 or more pages. So that means I got some serious more work to do to drop in the book. Some more chords to drop in the book. Alright. That's actually in my master book, but it's crazy because the chords that I put in my master book and the chords I keep coming up with as I'm playing on the keyboard or the organ, Let me put this over here because I'm gonna have to grab these chords from the master book, and then also the chords that I'm coming up as I go, that I hear musicians doing, that no one is wanting to stop and say, hey, check this out, man. I'm playing all these chords, and I'm gonna show y'all how to do it. So if they don't show you, I'll put it in the book, and then all you gotta do is listen to it. You gonna find the chords. Damn, that dude is not playing. Yeah, that's right. Bishop Jason Clark, aka Andre Clark, ain't playing. Cause I grew up around people who didn't really want to give me the time of the day. So I prayed and prayed, fast and fast, fast and fast, and prayed and prayed, cried and cried, all that stuff. And then just I would say this is kind of funny just to say at my old EOG age, all of a sudden now I'm with wisdom and knowledge and understanding on what's going on. That suddenly um, some chords or ideas come to mind. I had already had ideas of mine anyway. Let me just say it's probably let me rewind this back. Everything I've already put in my most of what I put in my manual. All right, but the majority of everything that I hear other musicians are doing or stuff I had already did way back in the early 20s, in the early 2000s, and the half of the 1990s. To be truthfully honest with y'all, because when I pull up some of my videos that I did or some of my audio recordings that I did on the keyboard, because I had a job where I had to sit and didn't have to do a whole lot of movements for 8 hours a day. So can you imagine me sitting there doing this for 2 to 3 years, 4 years, sitting just at a job, and all I had was time. You gotta ask Francisco Diaz. He used to come to my job for anyway, for or family came to my job for certain situations. And I remember one time you said, "Man, what you doing over there?" And I had a whole desk to spread out with chords, papers of me transcribing chords. And I have been doing this for a long time, but I didn't get really deep, dark, or deep into it until 2024. 2024 is when I really really got deep into it transcribing, and I had a whole bunch of these books. Or actually, I had these at first. I had other notebooks, but I transferred most of them over here. Of course, they're all falling apart and falling all out, and just falling all out. They just falling apart. Just the whole thing falling apart. So I've transcribed a whole bunch of stuff over the years, and I also recorded myself doing stuff. And it's funny that when I hear chords are being applied, these are chords I had already did a long time ago, and I'm like, dang, these dudes are doing it right now. This is the stuff they're doing today. It's like, wow, I already did that already. I already learned how to play that move. Oh, okay. So it's like someone says music is like a revolving circle. So it just basically circling around. I'm gonna go to the keyboard for a moment, just a quick moment, because I gotta go eat something, because I know my wife is gonna be on me. So organ, keyboard, two different instruments. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit of keys for a sec. I hope what's today? Wednesday, Thursday. What day is this? Thursday. Today is Thursday. Okay, Thursday. I think she's not gonna use the laptop today. I don't think. All right, let's switch over here to the keyboard for a quick minute. Organ and keyboard, two different things. Y'all see my foolishness down there? All right, that's the stuff. That's the stuff that some of it I put already in the book, not everything. And as I said, my manual, not everything in there. But I'm trying to put what I consider relevant chords, relevant ideas. And I did already, let's see, Grandma Wake Up. She's gonna let me in.
HDMI 1 Apple.
Ah, she ain't gonna let me in this time. She keep locking me out. Every now and then I get locked out. If I don't come in a certain amount of time, she's like, yo, bro, I'm locking you out. Sorry. No. Hit the right one. What? Oh. Come on, mama, let me in. Mama, mama. Mama, mama. Okay, what is going on? Did I change my passcode? Gee, did I change my passcode? Correct. Wait, hold on. Oh no. Oh, okay, I did change my passcode. Hold on, my bad. Yeah, changed my passcode about 20 different times. So for y'all who could see that for me, this is I already did chapter number 7. Make this bigger. So that got me to chapter 19, chapter 8. That got me to chapter 20, and then so then I gotta pick up 21. That will put me. Chapter 8. That will put me on page 21. So that makes me I'm getting closer to my goal. So at least I got 20 something pages. So I'm at least trying to make it to 88. So that way I can have the hardcover. So every time when I come to the keyboard, I'm like, what chord can I drop in there that I don't have in the book? Alright, so whatever chord I end up not having in the book, I'm dropping it in the book. So every chord that I end up playing, or I end up hearing something that is being played, then I'll drop it in the book. Alright, so all this stuff, 13/9 with the flat 5. Now earlier you heard me doing the. Wait, which one will we play? Wait. There it is. Sorry. Which one am I doing? The B flat 7 with the flat 5. But when I switch over to the G voicing, then it will be the 13 flat 9 voicing. Okay, so that makes me hold on. That makes me understand that the fact that I'm gonna drop these chords in the book. So I'm trying to see something. So let me go back to my top chord, minor 7 flat 5, 13, and then that's chapter 1, and we're going to go to the 13/9 the 13 flat 9 voicing. Let's see how am I playing that with this hand and that hand. Right? This is the chord I just played, so actually I don't have to do it. Woo woo. Okay, hold on, y'all. I gotta mark this one off my list. Alright, so the one I'm doing is the 13 flat 9. That was this one. 13 flat 9. So that's the B flat. So let me make sure. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so this is the other one. Ha! Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ha! Okay, hold on. So hold on. 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is the one with the 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I gotta do this one with the 7 notes. And the reason why it's the 7 note is because we picking up the bass line. This one, I'm only picking it up from the actual chord without the bass line. This without the bass line, but still being able to create the same chord, which is the 13 with the flat 9. Ooh, that is not right, y'all. That's not fair. Actually, am I missing one note? Let me see. Hold on. I must be missing a note. Uh-oh. So did I miss a note somewhere? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How's that 6? Okay, I must. Let's go back. So I have the wrong one actually. So I'm actually doing the 7. I'm doing the 7 one. The 7 with the flat 5 voice here. Ooh, okay. A good thing I looked at it, y'all, because I would have been hot if I had this. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3. The B flat. 1, 2. Okay, so let me see how I want to play this. I'm gonna make my corrections right quick. Okay, let me make my corrections now because now I just realized I'm actually playing the 7 flat 9. Uh-oh. Whoa. So this is the 7 flat 9 board. So hold on. Good thing I looked. Editing your own work. Okay, so this is the 9. This is the 7 9. Alright, so we're playing the 7 flat 9. Alright, cool. Now let me make sure because I'll go down further. Let's get to the 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to the next page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're at the B flat. That's what happened. My fingers hit that B flat. That's exactly what happened. So I gotta change this. Thank y'all. It was a good thing I went through this because now I got 2 chords I gotta fix. Okay. Guess what chapter I'm gonna put this one on? Okay, so let me do this because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. B flat. And this is another route. Okay, that's what's up. Alright, so this is the route I have to put in the book now. This is the 13-9. How in the hammer hacks did I do this, yo? I done messed this up. Hold on, so this is gonna be a simple fix. I'm going to have to now go back up here to chapter 8. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm gonna have to go back to chapter 8 because, let's see, the second one is correct. The second one will be correct because we're going half step. Yeah. Hold on. Did I do this one wrong too? Snap. Hold on, what was I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How is that possible? Hold on. My first one was. Alright, so that's the 7 flat 9. What? How did I even mess this up, y'all? And then I went and played this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How's that? How I messed this up? Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, I got it correct. I lied. This is the way my fingers feel to it. Hold on. I'll get ready to say, Lord. So I have the chords in here already. Okay, so this is C13 sharp with the flat 9. Now, how did I get the ride to that other one? Oh. chord in now. The other one, okay. I'll get ready to say, ooh, oh boy, I would have been hot. 3 for 3. So I got 3 for 3, so I played this right. So that meant the second one would be. Yeah, okay, cool. I gotta double check my own work, y'all. Alright, I want to drop the other chord now because this is correct. I'll get ready to have a fit. Because I was like, wait a minute. Alright, so let's drop the new chord I said I was going to do. Let's drop the other one. Let's drop that one in chapter. Let's make that one as chapter 11, I think. Let me see, that's 9, 10, 10. Let's drop, now we're going to do a chapter 11. Alright, here we go. So let me go back up here. Let me steal this. Lock that back up for, let me see. I'm going to steal this one. Yeah, let me steal that. And we're going to make it chapter 11 here. Y'all get to see behind the scenes. Alright, step back. Let me see. Back, delete. We got chapter 11, and then we're going to that chord from earlier. I want to go back up here to chapter 8. It's going to make my life easier, actually. Is it chapter 8? No. What chapter was that? I thought it was chapter 8. Chapter 8. Now go. Alright, let's go back up here to chapter 8. No, not 8. What number was it? 7? Gotta be 7. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, so I have the 7 with the flat 9, flat 6. We want to do the other one. We want to do this one. That one. C7 flat 9. So we have the C7 flat 9 with the flat 5. That was over at chapter 4. Alright, now we want to do the one without the flat 9. So let me see, which one do I want to steal? I want to steal with chapter 1. I'm trying to see which one I want to steal. So I want to steal chapter 8, I think I said. Hey, which chapter I was trying to steal this from? Chapter 2? Chapter 2. Alright, I'm trying to see where I want to steal my frame from. Alright, so I want to steal this. Alright, I gotta put this back to 13 because I had 7. Which was correct. Alright, so I want to steal this. Let me drop it down here in chapter 11. Where is it? Right here. Alright, we're going to make that paste. We're going to bring this down right here, I think. Now we're going to put the 7 here. 7 with the flat 9. I think that's what we said, right? Alright, that's what we're going to put that. That's going to be our 7 flat 9. 7 flat 9. Okay, now I want to do an A and a B, so let me copy. Go to the next page. Paste. Turn that into B. Where my B at? Alright, now I got an A and a B, okay. Because I'm splitting it in 12 keys. So let's go ahead and steal the chart from chapter 2. Because all I have to do is add one note. One note. So we're going to go over here to chapter 2. Let's steal this frame. Okay, we steal this frame here. I call it a diagram, but let me steal the diagram. Copy. And let's lock this up and we out. Let's be out. Okay, now we out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drop it in chapter 11. I hope you fall in the right spot I want it to fall in. And paste. Oh, almost. Okay, let me see. Can I grab it and drag it down? So, dang it, it doesn't grab my whatchamacallit. Okay, snap. Alright, no big deal. So what we're going to do, I'm going to drag the keyboard down some. I'm going to drag the notes down. As a matter of fact, I have to make one extra note anyways. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Yeah, so 6 notes. Okay, I don't have to add no notes. Hopefully, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me drag my bar down. And let's find that. Let me drag this over some. My left hand and right hand over some. And then there it is. Now I have to rebuild it back together. So I'm gonna put this up higher enough so it's out of my way. Out of my way, sucker! Okay. Alright, so let me see. We're gonna have to put this one up higher. And I think all I have to do is bring my bar up. Wow. That puts me right there where the left hand is. Do I want it right there or do I want it higher? Okay, let me bring the keyboard up. Let me make this bigger so I can see it. Make sure it's like right sitting in the line of the keyboard. It's building from scratch, y'all. Alright, building this from scratch. So the keyboard higher enough, up, under. I think that'll do it. Left to right. Looks straight to me. What time is it? Because I want to go eat right quick. Okay, we're going to build this chord right now. So we're going to put this as C7 because that's the chord we're doing, right? So we're going to call this the C7 space. All right, then we're going to, I'll go ahead and put the notes in there now. Let's see if it let me do it. Oh, it did. Okay, cool. Dropping the notes in there right now. And now I have to decide. And I'm thinking, if I was a beginner musician, I hate saying that word, but if I was a beginner level musician, how would I want to make this easy for myself if I was trying to play this forcing? I think this will be easy. 2-finger chord in the left hand. But if you want to feel like you're advanced level, quote unquote, then you can go 3 for 3. It depends on you. So once I lock it, it's up to you to determine on what you want to do, how you want to play it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this as a two note voicing, and the others are gonna be the 4-note voicing. All right. So now that depends on how far I can go over to the left with my chords. So let's see, let me slide, slipping and slide, slipping and slide. Let me push over my C7 to flat 5 over a little bit. That would be kind of okay. Yeah, it looks okay. Cool. Cuckoo and a cuckoo. All right, then I'll slide over my next chord. All right, and I'll put that right over where I may be putting the B flat, C sharp, E, and we said F, right? No, what did we say? G. All right, then we'll put the G. And bam! And there y'all have it. Bishop Drexler hot chords dot INF. Yeah, the Bishop Drexler Clark hot chords dot INFO, and I landed over the B flat 13 flat 9, and I landed over the 7 flat 9 voicing. And then I took y'all to the other chapter. Chapter who? 2. Y'all got it. Y'all kind of already getting insight on what's going on early. So yeah, this is how I do it. All right, now let me bring this down just a little bit so I can put the 7 flat 9 A on top right here. Okay, that's how I think I want to sit it there for now, just for now. And then when I'm ready to build the next, I'm going to build this as I go down. Now I want to center it. So sometimes I had to shrink it down so I could see what the other page was nearly, but see there's no other page in between, so I'm gonna have to guess on how far I want to slide this over. And the way I would do this, let me kind of make this bigger just a little bit, because I got this much room on this side, I got this much room on the other side. So I'm gonna try my best to evenly slide this over. And try to put it where it looks centered in the page, on the page. That's how I wanted it to look in the book, because when they print it, believe me, they gonna print it exactly how it looks. And I'm thinking that's pretty close to in the middle, so to speak. I think I might be slightly over to the right, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna leave it right where it's at. Don't touch it, Andre. All right, moving forward, now I'll just lock the page up. Wow. I'm already done. So now we have our 7 flat 9 voicing on chapter 11. What? And then we also have our 7/13 flat 9 in chapter number, we said 2, right? Chapter 2. All right, so then we go back up here and lock that up. This is the book. I'm writing the book, y'all. This is me writing in the music book. So now I'm going to lock that back up. So it's going back up here to chapter 2, I think it was, right? Chapter 2. Okay, so I did lock it already. Alright, so I locked it back up. And again, there's more than one way to approach the same voicing of chords. Alright, so I may have added an extra idea to it. Hey, and this time we're gonna go with the G. And you can do both of them. You see my fingers hitting the minor seconds, able to minor second, and then I go to a D minor 7 with flat 5, or D minor 7 sharp 11. Okay, I better stop. I'm quick, because if I don't now, I'm creating more chords to add to the book, because you never know when a musician might do some crazy stuff. A flat major 7 with flat 5. F9's minor 6/9. You even hear that stuff. And you already know what that chord is. Now here's the B flat 9 voicing. Dominant chord. Where's my book? Where's the music book? We also have that voicing. Now remember, there's more than one way to approach the same chords. So I believe I have that one in chapter 20. I thought I hit an extra note, but I hit one of the notes that's still in the book. And that's chapter 22. And we're doing that over the B flat. And that will be over here, chapter number 59. That's funny though, y'all. Wow. Bow. Bow. I did it over here, except was this time I added the F here, but I didn't put the F there because that was just another voicing. And you see, this make me, see, I gotta stop this, man. I gotta stop. I gotta quit. This is crazy. Because the more I look at, the more I play stuff, the more I come up with stuff. But okay, so I got the B flat and D. So the difference was I didn't put the A F there, but I do have the A flat I also have the B, but I also added D to the equation, which is the double up of what I did. So actually, technically, I did do it, but I just put it in the right hand, the D. So I did actually do that. I did add the F, which is the double up F, which I didn't do in this one at all. I only put the F at the top of the finger, but I also put it at the bottom of the finger, what we call octaves. So we had the octave D and the octave A is what I only added to the mix to this. What? But the same exact chord. And then of course I have the A flat at the top of the hand. So I have the octave A flat, the octave D, and the octave F. Same exact chords. The same exact chords, except that I spread the chord out to where I'm not doing octave what we said, the octave, we did the octave, what I said, we did the octave D and then the octave A flat, but we didn't do an octave F. That's the only difference I didn't do in the book. But the same exact voicing, the same exact chord, the same voicing, same chord, but just we might add the octave. That's really you playing a diminished chord. They may say partial diminished, but you hear the minor. Now you hear the full diminished, but not 7, but diminished. Because you know why? The beat. That's what changed the whole game plan. What? The beat. Now I could have did that. Now I'm gonna hit you with the B flat. Now this is gonna be cold. That's why I said I better stop. Because every time I do this, I'm like, man, another way to play this chord? Oh my goodness. Yeah, because because you're gonna start playing like the pros, right? Because you're like, what are they doing? But once you get the concept of understanding that, okay, what is the dominant movement in the chord, which I call the dominant movement or the main movement, is you really a diminished. Diminish, basically. It's just diminished. Even though, like I said, we doubled up the A flat, we doubled up the D, and we doubled up the F. It's a diminished. B flat. Now we call it the B flat 7. Now remember, earlier I had the 9. So if I understood that scale B flat, I'm gonna add the 9. 1, 2, 9. B flat 7, B flat 9. B flat 7 is the dominant chord, and now I have the 9. Alright, now I want to get stupid with it, and then I'm going to resolve bottom. Okay, we out. So that makes me think, man, let me go ahead and Photoshop this chord out and go ahead and put it in the book, because there's more than 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways to approach the chords. So y'all be on the lookout for the next book. Peace and love and cornbread. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out because I got to go eat and rest my spirit. And I'll of course come back to the book this week. I try to do a little bit more this weekend. Game plan is to try to have this book. I was going to give myself 8 days, but things happened. I had to go to the doctor on Monday. Wasn't feeling well. Then on Tuesday, went to the doctor again. And then on Wednesday, I felt sick again. Then I went this morning. So, y'all pray for me. So, so I'll be coming back to these particular chapters and make sure that all of my chords are lining up the way I'm transcribing them. Doses.